Yes, we used to come down to Umina and we liked it. And we just decided to retire here. So that's 20, 30 years ago. Well, my husband was a minister, and so even retired, he was invited all over the state to fill in for ministers who were taking annual leave to, just fill a vacant congregation for a while. And he filled in here for a couple of years, waiting for a minister. So this was our base. This was where we bought a home. And we never regretted it. Well, I want to thank you for the privilege of having this opportunity. And I've decided that to share with you my own spiritual journey would be the best way to say farewell. Two people pointed me to my Heavenly Father. My own father's godly life and a book from his small library. It was a biography of Hudson Taylor and his missionary work in China. Years later, I discovered a Christian bookshop in Sydney, which introduced me to many other early missionaries' biographies. Then, training to be a nurse brought me in contact with Christian nurses. These became my closest friends and remained so long afterwards. After training, many nurses headed overseas, myself included. My then fiancé, Angus Beaton, went to Scotland for further studies. And so I went to Scotland also to nurse and keep him safe from the charming Scottish lasses. A missionary from Peru came to our church to encourage more young couples to join him in Peru. I was so glad to be there and hear his plea. With Angus and two other couples, we talked longer with him. Our course was set after that conversation. We had 2 years in Australia before 8 years of service in the heights of the Andes Mountains, 8,000 feet up. That became our home. There were many challenges, but God's presence was with us. The proud Peruvians of Incan years had now become subservient after the Spanish conquest. It became a Catholic country. Our church folk were largely illiterate, very poor. However, missionaries had gone before us, so there were Christian groups to nurture and grow. And 2 trained Peruvian pastors looked after 2 large provinces in that area. When our children needed schooling, the education department sent homeschooling lessons. Later, a Northern Ireland couple were sponsored to teach in Peru. They had 3 children, ages similar to our own. This couple accommodated our own with their children in the city and gave them English lessons. God provided. When our eldest was ready for high school, we made the decision to return home to Australia, so our family of 4 then could enjoy English schooling to prepare them for their own future. This was in the 1960s. Australian society had declared God was dead. Church attendance suffered, particularly Sunday schools. Sunday sport was the new God. Fortunately, the Presbyterian Church had a Bible revival and had good Bible teaching. The Lord sheltered us under his wings. Since going to care, Sylvester sent printed sermons, which to me also. Mark and others came to take chapel services here at Peninsula Village. This became a lifeline for me. The Lord provides. Now I'm off to Melbourne. Always when I make a big decision and I look back, then I realise it was the Lord's hand guiding. Faith is a wonderful gift from God. Faith brings peace and inner joy. He set my feet upon a rock and has been my guide and comforter all these years. Thank you all for past fellowship. It is sad to say goodbye, but Boy Presbyterian Church will be not to be forgotten memory. I have the 2020 Church Dictionary with photos of you. May God bless you all. Gee.